Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with an updated list of Soul Sisters yet again. Yeah, this is still my pet deck. I have said that I have been switching over to Scred Red lately, but Scred Red I found is I don't have as much experience playing Scred Red as I do Soul Sisters, and there's a modern preliminary PTQ coming up in 15 minutes on MTGO. And I'm going to stick to something familiar rather than try and play a deck that I'm not quite as familiar with. And I'm also expecting in the preliminary PTQ a ton of burn. I'm going to think there's going to be, between Grixis, Delver, and Burn, probably about 50% of the metagame. So I'm going to play a deck that I know has basically an unstoppable matchup versus the Burn. And that is Soul Sisters. Scred Red can be a little bit iffy versus Burn. Now, the biggest change in this deck is the Martyr of the Sands are gone. We have one more. I'm just sticking with one in the deck. Now, this does make our kind of combo first turn Serra Ascendant into second turn Martyr a little bit slower. And I know that's going to cost us some games versus the combo decks. But I have increased the count. We're playing 3 main boarded Auriok Champions. 4 main boarded Soul Attendants, and 3 main boarded Soul Wardens. So that puts us at 10 Soul Sisters in the deck. We have one more Auriok Champion in the sideboard, as well as Kor Firewalkers in the sideboard. Yes, I 100% am trying to weed out the red decks. Maybe Kor Firewalker's a bit overkill, and I'll have to take them out for like more Stony Silences, rolling down to 1 Stony Silence and 2 Suppression Fields. And we're playing a full playset still of the Serra Ascendants and Pridemates, but the biggest change is the Squadron Hawks have been cut for Secure the Wastes. Secure the Wastes and Squadron Hawks are kind of, they have kind of the same feel to them, even though people would argue that Spectral Procession and Secure the Wastes are very similar. Spectral Procession can still be Windbrisk Heights. Squadron Hawks is a terrible card to put under Windbrisk Heights. Secure the Wastes is completely pointless to put under Windbrisk Heights. So we are going to play 3 of them, and we also are going to play an Archangel of Thune, because now Archangel of Thune and Secure the Wastes is a very good combination. So we have a little bit better matchup. I know Squadron Hawks and Secure the Wastes are pretty even. They do different things, and that's why I cut the Martyrs too, because Squadron Hawks is really good with Martyr of the Sands. So I think we have to cut down the Martyr. 3 main board Path Exiles right now. Still 4 Ranger of Eos. They're a little bit weaker now that you can't go get like double Martyr against certain matchups, but we can still get the 1 Martyr. And I'm still running 2 Return to the Ranks. They're both in the sideboard. They don't have the greatest synergy with Secure the Waste, but they kind of do, actually. You can end a turn, Secure the Waste for a lot, and then Return to the Ranks everything back in your graveyard. They are a little bit weaker now that there is less targets in the form of Squadron Hawks and Martyr of the Sands in the graveyard, but I still think there's plenty of relevant targets, especially late game when you have 10 or 12 cards in your graveyard that you can get back. Yeah, I'm still stubbornly holding on to Ranger because it still goes and gets the Serra Ascendant, which is the win condition versus the later matchups. Still 2 Sundering Growths to take out Inkmoth Nexuses and any problematic card like Ghostly Prison. We have a Wrath of God in here for like the Merfolk and Abzan and Jund matchups, because you do need to get rid of Olivia any way possible, and Wrath of God does that. And just it's kind of like your 5th Path to Exile, and it's a nice little, like, against Jund, I'll bring in both Return the Ranks and the Wrath of Gods. And Celestial Flare is still in here for any sort of Amulet of Bloom where you can kill the Primeval Titan and hopefully just race out a Hive Mind. And it's still in here for Infect. It's our answer versus Infect and Boggles, and I want to at least have an answer. Suppression Field is still in here for a lot of different decks. Stony Silence is in here for Affinity and for Tron, and Rest in Peace is in for any sort of graveyard-based strategy that we really need to kind of take care of their graveyard. It's my last card. I kind of don't want the Rest in Peace. What I'm thinking about putting in here is Mana Tithe. It's a 1 mana force spike. I think it's very powerful in the format right now, as you can counter. Here, I'll show you what Mana Tithe is. And maybe it's Mana... Oh, we're looking at other products. That's not where we want to be. Mana Tithe. Mana Tithe does counter target spell unless it's control phase 1. So any spell. You can really, like, against Scape Shift, it's a pretty good card because they can tap out for Scape Shift, and then you can Mana Tithe it, and they do not see that coming with 1 mana open. Splinter Twin, same thing. They tap out for Twin, you tithe it. Then you can just even like countering a Tarmogoyf. You go first turn like Soul Attendant, second turn counter a Tarmogoyf. That's not bad. Counter a Liliana, an Olivia, all sorts of those cards. It's a very decent card. So I'm thinking about messing around with Mana Tithe. In fact, I might just throw this last one in here for Rest in Peace. I don't know how many Storm decks we're going to be running up against. And I'm just thinking that one Rest in Peace probably doesn't do enough versus the Storm. So I'm going to take out the Rest in Peace and we're going to put in this one Mana Tithe and see how well that works. We'll bring it in versus certain matchups that will kind of give us a little bit of a trick here. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and submit this deck. This is going to be, wish me luck for the preliminary PTQ. I'm hoping this deck can go a long ways. We have to win it, so we do want to face burn all day long. And I'm hoping Archangel of Thune. Oh, one more change. I've actually added the Flagstones of Trokair because there's no point not to. They do kind of... Now, this does make us a little bit vulnerable to Blood Moon, and like even Mind Sensor decks, but it allows us to have one Ghost Quarters, which can really screw up the Bloom decks. You can actually destroy their land and then set them back a little bit. But other than that, it's just another option we have against like Celestial Colonnade and whatnot. Anyway, so the Flagstones of Trokair are just free cards though. They'll help thin out the deck now that we're playing 21 for the Archangel of Thune. So anyhow, this is what we're gonna submit. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.